was kind of my thought process there, but I do think we could look at getting Kaisa there in the future rather than Ezreal. But I personally think Ezreal is one of the better ADCs. I think the only issue here, I just think we pushed it too far. You're tanking. You got to remember you're tanking the entire wave, and level 1 that's going to be a lot of damage early. Like all these casters were just hitting you. They just dropped aggro and moved to Ezreal. But I do think it was just, and the tower shot doesn't help either. But I just think we just went a little too aggressive there. Once you got the barrier, I think we could have backed off. Not the biggest deal in the world. Really good roam. Get a kill on the Gen 2, which was really good. This is just a little thing. Why are you flashing? What does him, like, in any world here, does not actually get away from you? I just don't think there's any reason, like, to flash there. I mean, obviously you got to kill, and I guess better safe than sorry, but I just don't think that it was necessary at all to flash there. Let's see this wave again. I think he screwed this up. You shouldn't have even, you should have instantly backed. So this is another one of the wave management with that timers currently how they are. You auto this and make it so it doesn't freeze, but it makes it so that it's a little bit more of the even state. This is already naturally going to push into you, and you may only lose 1 or 2 minions. I wouldn't have touched any of these minions. I would have let them naturally push into me. I think you doing that just makes it so he actually doesn't miss anything. I think you're using your W and you're not using your W as well effectively as you can on the Shen. You had a couple, and I think there's a couple more that you don't use super well. Something just that I think you could work on is just what our time like. That's just not a super great time to use it there. This was good. That was a good roam. Let's see. We have played this better. So I think this is good. I don't know if you need to flash taunt there, but you're trying to secure it, so I get it. I think that sometimes we are just pushing a little too hard. Like we get a play and we get stuff out of it, and then we then we just keep going rather than taking the wins. I think we need to be a little bit better about backing out, because I don't think Ezreal needed to die there. I think if we play that slower, Ezreal doesn't have to die. We may not get a kill initially, but we can come back and repeat gank and kill the gen later. Oh, nice kill. That was good. Got a free kill there too. Ezreal's playing safe. This is what he needs to do. This is good. Right now, based on everywhere, we're up 1k gold. Top's up 700, jungle's up 300, bot lane's up 100, mid lane's up 500, support's down, but that's not surprising. So I think right now, I mean, how this game is going, this is exactly the current state of the game we want it to be in. I do think we tend, one thing with the roam timers, I think we need a little bit better, a little more wary of when waves are crashing. Sometimes we give up 2 plates here because we're not sinking our way, like we're spending too much time on the roam. So I think it's just something we need to work on. Is we're spending too much time on this roam, like dancing around at mid lane. I think we need to be better at knowing when to move back to bot lane. I think it's just something to look out for. I think it makes it so that Ezreal ends up missing out on quite a bit of stuff, and we give up first turret because of it. So I just think our timers need to be a little bit more synced up, a little bit more coordinated with the waves themselves. Just overstaying. Good, that was good. And a good, ooh, a little deep on the roam there, friend. Yeah, we just go a little too deep. I think we need to be, like, we can't be this deep. Like, it's okay at this point to be it. Once Syndra disappears, once that wave is cleared, you can't keep going here. You need to back out sooner. It's okay to go there initial, like the jump over there is fine. Like, right now, this is good play. This is good play. Great play. Everything's good. Once we use that, like, you going in like this, I know you're trying to get a kill. Even here, that's a little scary just because you don't know where the J4 is. And Syndra can move at this point, so I just think you pushed it a little too far there. Which is, as I said, a tendency of ours right now. We just push a little too far. We're just doing that. Again, we do this. We tend to overstay. I mean, it was well played by him to flash out, but we tend to overstay on these plays. Both times you've died on top is overstaying without vision of enemy team. I am interested. So I play an absolute ton of Shen top. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge. I don't love Shen support. I think it's okay at most. I really don't think your build is right. Like, I don't like your build. I think that the Blood Song is more common if you are running Shen support. Let me look. And I think that going this is just way too expensive. I think it feels good, I guess, for trading, but you only have one champion that you're truly using it against, which is J4, so I don't think this is, even as a top laner, I wouldn't take this item because it's not the right team composition to take it against, because you're not, like, you're getting some procs, I guess, but I just don't think this adds value that you think it does. It feels, I'm not saying it doesn't feel good, but I think it doesn't help you with your role. So let me look at build pass for the support. I guess it does have Celestial Opposition is I'm looking at it right now. I guess it'd be situational. I know that the Bloodsong build has a lot higher win rate currently. And usually if you're doing this build right here where you get this, usually I do see it with Bloodsong. Like I said, I don't think this build personally is super great. I think situationally it can be, and if you're snowballing and things like that, I just don't think you have the golden income. I think that at this point you would have so much more impact with a locket than a heartsteel. Yeah, it scales, but I think this and then Warmogs. I don't love. Tom Kench I think is probably the exception. Um, I just don't think that this adds enough value for a support outside of like Tom Kench. And even then, is he building it? Yeah, okay, he does currently build it, and I do see that on Tom Kench supports, but I never see it on any other support, Shen or not. I just don't love hard. It's just too expensive an item. If it feels good and you keep doing that, that's fine. But I do think that going for a more standard Shen support build, which generally is going to be this or Bloodsong into either Warmogs or Locket, and then Redemption or Thornmail or Warmogs or Knight's Vow, I think offers a lot more value than going the Heartsteel build. I'm not saying it doesn't have its situations, but this is not a team composition where I would deem it being this situation. I don't think it's good in this situation because they have it. If you were against another melee support and you were trading with them constantly and getting a lot of it, I would say yeah, it's fine. I just don't, like I said, I think Locket adds so much more value here. Locket would have been so much better in my opinion. That was a good pick. Doing all right. You walk into it. It's you win this though. It disengages. Oh, barely. Not close. Yeah, you get one shot. Again, it's I feel like you're just disrespecting at this point. Like she just chunked you. You had to force ult. And you really didn't think she might not be in here. I feel like there's been a couple plays pity for in this series where you just outright disrespect these people and get absolutely killed for it. There's another one. We're just. Ooh, you got out. Okay. I think we're just going a little too far up without really taking into consideration how they can react versus how we can react. We have anything to TP too. And then we overextend. So we lost our jungler, and then we keep fighting, even though it's a 4v5. Like, we keep going. We need to not keep going sometimes. Like, you guys need to, like, it's okay to take a loss. Instead, we tend to, when someone dies, we think, oh, we can make a play here, and then we lose a 4v5 or something like that. We need to just play things slower. We need to be a little more patient. The last play is the one I want to get to in this one. You're lucky you misplayed. You should have killed you there. Okay, decision needs to be made here. What's our ADC doing? He's farming. Are we contesting or are we not? Let's go back. Yeah, hard to sit here and do stuff like this without knowing if there's vision or not. Especially if you're gonna do that, you don't hug here. You don't hug here, you hug here. Because you don't know if there's vision. The reason you died there is because they were able to just come directly over this wall. You hug here, so even if they do come over this wall, you're fine. And yes, this puts you in a little more advantageous to flank, but because you don't have the knowledge of what's going on over here, you needed to be hugging this wall. And because you don't have anything to sweep out vision. Worst Drake in the game, so we can give up this Drake if we wanted to. This is a great collapse. I think this was a really good play by you guys to call and fight this. I think this was really good. Ezreal needs to play safe. Use it to get the mid lane. Perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Is this where you guys throw? Let me look. It is. You guys, this is absolutely the worst Baron start. Just the other one was bad. This one's horrific. I don't know who called it. It was a really bad call. It's quite bad. They're spawning. One has TP. Given if you don't think they have TP, but we take Baron decently, but not crazy. These three are all healthy. This guy just went into Mega Gnar. These guys will make it in time. This is, and again, Baron shreds your armor and shreds your magic resistance. I think we don't need to force these objectives as hard as we are, because then they just get to open up on us and kill us all, and then they get Baron. So yeah, that was a really bad call. You guys do a great job getting a pick, so great job by Jay getting a pick. You're breaking rules. You don't need to, like, I don't know, Pity, why you do this. You do it really frequently where you're contesting this wave. When your team is on the opposite side of the map. This is just a really, there's no reason, and two, it puts you in a spot to get jumped on, whether they're there or not. This is just, and you're in a giant wave of souped up minions. I guess they're not supers there. So I just think you need to be a little more. I think the flash shoot was really bad. You just gotta be a little more wary of what's actually happening in the game in the current state. We hit the Drake, so that's good. It's not the worst thing ever. Okay, so I want to see what this call was. Baron is almost done? Question mark? Yeah, Baron's almost done. I don't know why we forced this so hard. Talia's not really in position. It's not a particularly easy ward to TP to. Baron is almost done. We walk in too soon. I just don't think this was like, this felt really forced. I don't feel like we needed to force this fight. Like it was, there's just no, I don't know. I don't know why we forced it so hard. I don't think it was the right call. The Baron is done. I don't think there's any huge advantage to us. Like the only thing that's Syndra's half health. But that's the only thing, and even then our Ezreal is, and Shen, given Shen is going to be TP or is ulting in, but doesn't make it, unfortunately. I just don't think this was the right call to force it this hard onto the enemy team. I think the play is already done, and I don't even think that this TP was a particularly great flank. Um, I just don't know why we were like, we have to commit to this now. I think we could have easily just been like, okay, we'll take the next fight. I just don't see what the advantage was here to take this fight. Like, I don't know if why we thought we have to take this fight. Other than pity, you were having a bad game and we're tilted and we're like, we can win this fight even though like it just felt like it was like we're down gold. Like Baron's up, we can collect gold, we can make macro plays and get back into this game. Usually, forcing a giant fight like this isn't super advantageous. The only person who hasn't spent gold is really Gnar. So Gnar hasn't spent a lot of gold. Everybody else has spent all their gold. So it's like not like we're making a big play when they have a bunch of gold. So it's actually an even state. And then it's really hard too for our team to. And this is a draft issue. We're pokey. They're pokey. Shen probably isn't the best pick. We don't have any true engage, and so because of it, Corki, Ezreal, Talia are all like face running up, and so they get chunked out by the Karma and the Syndra, and all of a sudden there's an issue because we sprinted at them rather than playing like trying to play War of Attrition, which we need to play. So I do think, like I said, I think Alistar would have been a better pick. And then I just did think we kept forcing these weird fights. So it is what it is. I just think we got tilted and made some plays that we didn't need to make. Is the biggest thing. I think we need to reevaluate game states and just understand what's actually important, not because it felt like we were playing desperately when we didn't need to, and a lot of times we were like the Braum game where we force an engage, this game where we force an engage. So I just think there was just some issues. I think from macro side, we just need to be a little bit better about playing out macroing people rather than relying on we're forcing a fight and we're going to outfight them. I think we will end up running to teams, a lot of teams where we will be able to outfight them. But I do think we need to be able to also learn macro and be able to play around our macro better. Because I do think we were really the series was really bad. We had a lot of we had two different Barons that were really really poorly contested. The game where we didn't have a bad Baron, we had a free Drake, and instead of getting the free Drake, we forced a fight right here. So I just think there was just these little mistakes, and we were in these games, and then one big mistake led to the whole game snowballing out of our way. I do think another thing we have to evaluate is our builds. I do think that pretty much everybody had at least one or two builds that were really not super great. I think we need to be a little more cognizant of shopkeeper and what is actually good. I think that we think too much like solo queue, and we need to think more like team builds. So the Leandries on the Ivern or the Heartsteel on the Shen, I don't think were the right calls in those situations, in either situation. I'm sure there's more if I were to go into the builds and look at them. I think there's I'm sure that everybody made mistakes with it, but we want to avoid losing the shopkeeper. So I do think there's some things to be thought about there as well. Awesome. I'm going to get these posted. If you have questions, let me know.